from ABC News. This is World News with Charles Gibson, reporting tonight from Alaska.
Good evening. We are in Fairbanks tonight, where we spent part of the day with Alaska's Governor Sarah Palin for her first extensive interview since being named John McCain's running mate. We met with the governor shortly before she addressed a deployment ceremony for an Army infantry division, which includes her son, Track. He'll be sent to Iraq later this month. The ceremony comes on the 7th anniversary of September 11th. We're going to have further conversations with Governor Palin tonight and tomorrow that will be on this broadcast tomorrow. But on this day, when national security is on everyone's mind, we wanted to talk about her view of the world.
Governor, let me start by asking you a question that I asked John McCain about you. And it is really the central question. Can you look the country in the eye and say, I have the experience and I have the ability to be not just vice president, but perhaps president of the United States of America?
I do, Charlie. And on January 20th, when John McCain and I are sworn in, if we are so privileged to be elected to serve this country, we'll be ready. I'm ready.
When McCain asked you to take the number 2 spot on the ticket, for a moment, did you think no?
I did not. I thought yes, right off the bat. When he offered me the position as his running mate, the first thing I said to him was, if you really think that I can help the ticket, if you really think that I can help this country, absolutely, I want to do this with you.
And you didn't say to yourself, am I experienced enough? Am I ready?
I didn't hesitate. No,
Doesn't that take some hubris?
I answered him yes, because I have the confidence in that readiness and knowing that you can't blink. You have to be wired in a way of being so committed to the mission that we're on, reform of this country and victory in the war. You can't blink. So I didn't blink then, even when asked to run as his running mate.
But this is not just reforming a government. This is also running a government on the huge international stage in a very dangerous world. When I asked John McCain about your national security credentials, he cited the fact that you have command of the Alaska National Guard and that Alaska is close to Russia. Are those sufficient credentials?
But it is about reform of government, and it's about putting government back on the side of the people. And that has much to do with foreign policy and national security issues. Let me speak specifically about a credential that I do bring to this table, Charlie, and that's with the energy independence that I've been working on for these years as the governor of this state that produces nearly 20% of the U.S. domestic supply of energy, that I worked on as chairman of the Alaska Oil and Gas Conservation Commission, overseeing the oil and gas developments in our state to produce more for the United States.
National security is a whole lot more than energy.
It is, but I want you to not lose sight of the fact that energy is a foundation of national security. It's that important. It's that significant.
Did you ever travel outside the country prior to your trip to Kuwait and Germany last year?
Canada, Mexico, and then, yeah, that trip that was a trip of a lifetime to visit our troops in Kuwait and stop and visit our injured soldiers in Germany. That was a trip of a lifetime, and it changed my life.
Have you ever met a foreign head of state?
I have not, and I think if you go back in history and if you ask that question of many vice presidents, they may have the same answer that I just gave you. But Charlie, again, we got to remember what the desire is in this nation at this time. It is for no more politics as usual and somebody's big fat resume maybe that shows decades and decades in that Washington establishment where, yeah, they've had opportunity to meet heads of state.
Let me ask you about some specific national security situations.
Sure.
Let's start, because we are near Russia, let's start with Russia and Georgia. The administration has said we've got to maintain the territorial integrity of Georgia. Do you believe the United States should try to restore Georgian sovereignty?